Hi, this is D. Rambabu. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Science and Humanities in University College of Engineering. I am going to explain the subject probability and statistics. If you have any doubt after watching my complete video, please comment under this video. Today our first problem is if capital A and capital B are two events and P of A is equal to 3 by 5, probability of B is equal to 1 by 2, then prove that P of A union B is greater than or equal to 3 by 5 and 1 by 10 is less than or equal to P of A intersection B is less than or equal to 1 by 2. Okay. Now let us go to the solution. For the first problem, given that A and B are two events, okay, we know that A is contained in A union B. This is always true for any sets A and B. Okay. By a theorem, already we have proved that whenever A is contained in B, P of A is less than or equal to P of B. That is here. It implies that P of A, probability of A, is less than or equal to probability of A union B. Okay. Or P of A union B is greater than or equal to P of A. These two are same, but we interchange them only. Terms are interchanged. Okay. But here given that P of A union B is greater than or equal to 3 by 5. Therefore, given that P of A is equal to 3 by 5. P of A is equal to 3 by 5. Therefore, P of A union B is greater than or equal to P of A means 3 by 5. P of A is equal to 3 by 5. Okay. First problem was cleared. Let us go to second one. We have to prove that 1 by 10 is less than or equal to P of A intersection B less than or equal to 1 by 2. Here we know that A intersection B is always contained in B. Okay. Therefore, P of probability of A intersection B is always less than or equal to probability of B. But you know, probability of B is 1 by 2. 1 by 2. Therefore, P of A intersection B is less than or equal to 1 by 2. Okay. Let us assume this as 1. Okay. Therefore, right side portion of inequality is proved. P of A intersection B is less than or equal to 1 by 2. Now we have to find out left inequality is proved or not, is true or not. 1 by 10 is less than or equal to P of A intersection B. Okay. By addition theorem we have P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Okay. But you know, A union B, since A union B is an event P of A union B by the first axiom of probability is always lies in between 0 and 1, especially it is less than or equal to 1. P of A union B is less than or equal to 1. Therefore, P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B is also less than or equal to 1. Okay, but you know P of A value is 3 by 5 as per the given problem. P of B is 1 by 2 minus P of A intersection B is less than or equal to 1. That is 3 by 5 plus 1 by 2 minus 1 is less than or equal to P of intersection B. Put this term on the right side and put 1 on the left side of inequality. Okay, its value is, by solving this we get 1 by 10. 1 by 10 is less than or equal to P of A intersection B. This is second inequality. From 1 and 2, we have 1 by 10 is less than or equal to P of A intersection B. This is less than or equal to P of A intersection B is less than or equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2. Therefore, second problem was also cleared. Now let us go to the next problem. The probabilities that students capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D solve a problem are 1 by 3, 2 by 5, 1 by 5 and 1 by 4 respectively. If all of them try to solve the problem, what is the probability that the problem is solved? Okay, 1 by 3 is the capacity for A to solve the problem. 2 by 5 is the capacity for B to solve the problem. 1 by 5 is the capacity for to solve the problem for C. 1 by 4 is the capacity to solve the problem for D. Okay, but all of the students are working on the same problem. Then what is the probability? Whether it is proved, whether that problem solved 100% or not. Let us check. Okay, now you have to find out the probability to solve the problem. No? Probability of A, probability of capital A to solve it is 1 by 3. Probability of P, probability of P to solve the problem 2 by 5. P of C, probability of C to solve the problem is 1 by 5. P of D, probability of D to solve the problem is 1 by 5. These are all probabilities. We can easily observe that these are all lies in between 0 and 1. Therefore, probability is always less than or equal to 1 and greater than or equal to 0. 1 by 3, 2 by 5, 1 by 5, 1 by 4. Okay. Now, P of A union, they are all working on the same problem. Okay, therefore their union is required. P of A union, B union, C union, D. This is nothing but the probability for solving the problem altogether. Okay, P of A union, B union, C union, D. Okay, this can be written as 1 minus P of A union, B union, C union, D complement. Okay, this is by the formula 1 minus P of A complement is equal to P of A. Already we know that P of A complement is equal to 1 minus P of A. P of A complement is equal to 1 minus P of A. Already we have proved it. By this we will get P of A is equal to 1 minus P of A complement. Okay. Now by De Morgan laws, okay, 1 minus P of, by De Morgan laws we will get A complement intersection, B complement intersection, C complement intersection, D complement. Okay, now we know that A complement, B complement, C complement, D complement are mutually exclusive events because A, B, C and D are mutually exclusive event, because all persons are always disjoint. Okay, therefore A, B, C, D candidates are disjoint candidates. They are mutually exclusive events. Therefore A complement, B complement, C complement, D complement are also disjoint, that is mutually exclusive events. You know this this formula P of A intersection B. Whenever A and B are mutually exclusive events, we will get P of A into P of B. Okay, by using this formula we can write down as P of A complement dot P of B complement dot P of C complement dot P of D complement. Okay, now 1 minus P of A complement means 1 minus P of A. P of A complement means 1 minus P of A. 1 minus P of A, 1 minus P of B, 1 minus P of C, 1 minus P of D. Okay, 1 minus P of A. P of A means probability of A. Probability of A is 1 by 3. 1 by 3. 1 minus P of B. Probability of B is 2 by 5. 1 minus 2 by 5. Probability of C is 1 by 5. 1 minus 1 by 5. Probability of D is 1 by 4. 1 by 4. Okay, let us solve. 1 minus 1 by 3. 3 minus 1, 2 by 3 into 5 minus 2, 3 by 5 into 5 minus 1, 4 by 5 into 4 into 1, 4 minus 1, 3 by 4. Okay. 3 cancelled, 4 cancelled, 2 into 3 6 by 5 into 5 25, that is 1 minus 6 by 25. Now 25 into 25 1 25 minus 6 19 by 25. Therefore 19 by 25 is the probability to solve the problem. Therefore there is no guarantee that the problem is solved 100% because it is not 1. If its value is 1, then the problem will be definitely solved. But since its value is less than 1, there is no guarantee that the problem will be solved 100%. But higher possibility is there to solve the problem, that is 19 by 25. Okay, if you multiply this ratio with 100, you will get the capacity of all students to solve the problem in terms of percentage. Okay, and also we can notice that if anyone can solve the problem 100%, for example A can solve the problem 100%, its probability is 1 because 1 into 100% 1. Therefore probability of A is 1, probability of B is 2 by 5, probability of C is 1 by 5, probability of D is 1 by 4. Then whenever it is 1, we will get, after solving the problem by replacing 1 by 3 with 1, we will get 1. Check yourself. That's mean 1 into 100% problem will be solved because there is a brilliant student, he can solve the problem. Therefore even also they are all solved the problem together, problem will be easily solved because there is a brilliant student, capital A. Okay, that is.